Welcome to Writer's Conduit, Finding Your Online Community. I am here together with CoffeeQuills, Theresa Green, DinosaurBob, and Merrick, known as Mezzanine. Welcome, everyone. I am Itanshi.
Hello.
I'll be your host. Mez and I are co-founders, along with two others, of the Twitch Writers Network. I will go ahead and let everyone introduce themselves. I know Coffee wanted to go last, so go right ahead, Theresa.
My name is Theresa, and I live in the States on the Eastern Coast. I'm the co-founder of the Writers Workout, and we are a global nonprofit for literacy through creative writing.
All right, Dinosaur Bob.
Sure. I'm Bob O'Brien, Dinosaur Bob, RPGDinosaurBob, depending on which media you're finding me on. I guess I'm here representing the World Anvil community, which is 1.5 million writers, both creative and RPG type game type related. And probably the newest to the party when it comes to actually attempting professional writing. I actually come in from the RPG end, but one thing I've learned in the last year is that we both the creative side and the RPG side have a lot to learn from each other and a lot to gain from interacting with each other.
All right, I got Twitch chat popped out. Go ahead. Merrick?
Hello, I am Merrick, better known as Mezzo9. I am one of the 4 co-founders of the Twitch Writers Network and general community manager for it. I've been a community manager for multiple groups for a number of years, with Twitch Writers Network being my latest project, really.
All right. Well, I'm Itanshi. Again, I'm a co-founder of the Twitch Writers Network. I guess I'm in charge of social outreach, though I know a lot of our tasks that we kind of overlap with each other. I know Merrick and I, like a whole year ago, was it more than a year ago? It's more than a year ago. It was basically November, NaNoWriMo. Into December, we came across Coffee and others, and we're all just expressing that it's hard to find a online community. It's hard to connect with each other. It's hard to use discoverability on Twitch. And a lot of us felt like alone. We didn't realize there were other writers on Twitch, and I'm still finding people who don't realize there's other writers on Twitch. So we went about making a Discord community to connect with everyone. But as we are gathered here together with members of various writing communities, software or services, we all have our own ways to provide what Twitch lacks. But all together, you can build an online community. You can find your own preferred method or combine them. If you want to introduce the online community you're most familiar with, who wants to go first?
I'll go first for this one if you don't mind.
Sure.
So, hi, my name is CoffeeQuills. And I am actually a part of the For the Words community. I'm a staff member. I am a part of the World Anvil community, most specifically the Anvilite Streamer Core. I am a part of the Writers Workout, and I poke my head into the Twitch Writers Network every so often, but I'm unfortunately not yet very active in the server, but that's something I plan to fix. And finding a community is somehow easy and hard at the same time. It's easy to find someone, but it's maybe hard to see if the two of you or the group of you are a good fit for each other. So I was lucky that all the groups I've mentioned have been kind, welcoming, and a wonderful fit for me, But again, what works for me may not work for you. So I think that answered the question a little bit.
Yep.
I do think finding that right fit is the most important part. And that's why it's so amazing that there are so many different groups out there. You just have to go look for them.
Yes.
It helps if you've got a bit of a niche that you can use to automatically identify with this group. Like, oh, we're writers from the Andalite Streamer Core. We're all writers that use Twitch. Whatever
Definitely.
you have in common can make it a lot easier to make yourself feel at home in that community.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like I said, I came into this from the RPG end, and to be honest, I wasn't looking for a community to join. I was looking for software to help me build a world. And I found, I found
That's
World
amazing.
Anvil. Yeah, I found World Anvil, and the product was cool. And I'm not. This isn't just. We're not going to market World Anvil here, but but check it out if you haven't.
Yep.
But with World Anvil came a Discord that was tremendously active and the most supportive, positive, reinforcing group of people I have ever come across on the internet. And then on top of that, the Anvilite Streamer Core kind of popped into being just about a year ago, right about now, in fact.
Really?
It started, Summer Camp 2020 is what started the Anvilite Streamer Core.
Wow.
Summer Camp 2021 is starting in 4 or 5 days. And I started streaming then. My streaming anniversary will be July 1st, my first streaming anniversary. But again, we kind of built a community that involves, we're helping people to do their writing. We're helping people to do their editing. We're helping people to show off their work. In the Streamer Core, and we're using Twitch to do it. And we've got, what are we up to, like 70 odd members now, I think, Coffee?
Yeah, about 70 odd members. I actually did
and
not know we started during Summer Camp 2020
yeah.
because that's how I started streaming in general.
Right, we all did.
I found World Anvil, and Theresa Green from Writer's Workout can definitely attest to the fact I love challenges.
Yes.
So the Writer's Workout years ago pulled me in with the Writer's Games, and I'll let Theresa explain those a bit later. World Anvil pulled me in with Summer Camp. And Summer Camp is to write at least 31 articles with 31 prompts during the summer break, July. And I did not realize the Streamer Core evolved then. I just know someone went, Coffee, you live in Japan. Yes? You should stream because then you can help fill this 24-hour streaming schedule.
Yeah, I did want to point out the Anvilite Streamer Core. We don't have complete 24/7 coverage, but we're awfully close.
Yeah.
And during the summer we probably will be.
Yes.
Because we have a lot of people who don't stream all the time, but they've already started talking about getting back into it for summer camp. So at least for July and maybe into August. 24/7, if you're looking for something on Twitch to help you with your writing. A lot of us do writing sprints, a lot of us do writing showcases. We cover all genres, and again, and it's creative writing as well as game related writing, and we'll be there. Like I said, if you go to the Anvilite Streamer Core website and check the calendar, and you'll probably find somebody streaming during the July, especially, no matter where you live and what time it is.
And
I'll put that link in the chat.
Sure.
I have seen from the outside of that community, you do seem to be like a wonderful, friendly, supportive community.
Definitely.
Yeah, we certainly don't tolerate any kind of negativism. We're all there to help each other. Nobody's competing with each other.
Yeah.
It's a pleasant place, and I'll tell you, during pandemic, it was a great family to find ourselves part of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It reminded me when I was first looking into writing streams. I went into one stream and mentioned to them I'm also a writer, and they went, "Oh, you're here to spy on what I'm doing. You're the competition." And I went, "I'm not the competition.
Come on.
I'm the cooperation. We learn
Yes.
from each other. We grow with each other."
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's some humor there, hopefully. Well, we talk about Discord now. So, before Discord, I was with a Minecraft community that branched out into other games, and they were using Slack. So, Discord was in like beta or something, and the head mod pulled me in. I guess around the time I was pulled in as a mod and brought on to introduce to Discord. And I've watched Discord grow over the years, and it's been pretty wonderful. Not perfect. It's always good to go on the Discord app subreddit to see what they're complaining about. But the for writers, I don't know, don't really have a window here to show it. But I mean, you could have a section where you're posting your content. I know some creative streamers actually just post directly to it. They are streaming their Discord, one channel where you're just typing in stuff into posts. It's kind of a neat idea, not really to my preference. I like using Google Docs, but you can link this stuff into the Discord as well. And you could hide it behind a sub thing if you're an affiliate. You know, it's up to you. Make your short stories available to everyone that way.
Yeah.
You can have games with your community off stream or on stream. I know some folks like to use Stream Raiders. You can.
Some. I think I'm the only member of the Anvilite Streamer Corps that doesn't yet. But
We will get you at some point.
Fair enough. I haven't done it either, but I probably could. Let's see here. I know
for me at least.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, on Twitch Writers Network, we've been running an open mic through the voice chat. And since they introduced stages, that might be a good way to do it too. But most of the people who join it are actually participating, so not necessary just yet. But I imagine if you're big enough, stages allows viewers to, not participate automatically. They're just viewing or listening. There's no video in stages. That's been rather successful. We've had strong months and modest months over time. But I'm really happy with everyone who's participated. And of course, if anybody wishes to participate, it's pretty easy to get in. The link to the network, of course, is down below.
Yeah, we do try and hold regular events as much as we can to help build the community and knit it together, help get people actually talking to each other, communicating with each other.
I do think too that people go through phases and they're really into one thing and then they kind of get overwhelmed by it and they need to move on to something else. And then they come back to it later. And I like that. I like that sharing of information because you can take what you learn somewhere and take it somewhere else and teach all of those people and then come back with all the things that you learned from those other groups.
I mean, one of the things of groups is that I felt definitely welcome in the World Anvil community and the For the Words community and with Twitch Writers Network, but I feel that my writing itself has improved most because of the writer's workout.
Oh, thank you.
And I think that brings to a point that each community, for me at least, definitely has a different relationship. Like World Anvil, I know definitely if I ever have a world building question, like herbivores and carnivores, etc., plagues, probably not my best example, but there we go. I can ask the World Anvil community and I will get wonderful, well thought out answers from people who have the experience of tabletop RPGs and just creating these amazing games. Twitch Writers Network is a great place to meet new people and just to chat and hang out and relax. For the Words for me is a wonderful place for motivation. If you don't know what For the Words is, it's a right to fight gamification. You fight small creatures, each creature has a word count. I defeated this creature, that was 200 words I wrote. That's motivation for me. And the writer's workout, especially with the writer's games, speaking of heavy months and non-heavy months, July is a heavy month for camp. July is a heavy month for every place, I think.
It's just this year, though. I mean, our schedule changes a lot, too.
Yeah. But I've mentioned, and I'm sorry, Itanshi, but I've mentioned now, I think, the writer's games like 3 different times.
Oh, no, go right ahead.
Maybe I should actually let Theresa explain what that is.
Oh, goodness. Where to start? So, Writer's Games is a series of 6 challenges over 6 weeks. You have 72 hours per challenge. You have to register in advance, and then you get your challenge. And then you write, you submit, we judge it, and then we give you feedback from unbiased sources. And it's every single week for 6 weeks. And then we publish all the winners at the end, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Certainly sounds like a good way to connect with people.
Yeah, that's another.
I mean, I certainly love it.
Yeah, I've also considered playing the For the Words. It's one of those things you go headlong into and rely upon to make great use of, and I'm a little scattered.
I started playing For the Words in 2016. I think I'm thinking of my communities now, my timeline. Writer's Workout was first and holds a very dear place in my heart.
Aww.
Then came For the Words. Then came World Anvil. And then came Twitch Writers Network. And each one kind of fed into the other one. So, but yeah.
I love how that works, too. And I love that we're all able to just come here together and just talk about words and writing. It's awesome.
I do love how this convention does seem to be bringing all the writing communities together. I've finally started actually talking to people from the World Anvil community. There's been a little bit of an overlap, but I've been a little hesitant to reach out to this other community. And I'm quickly learning that it's full of lovely, friendly people.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. The Game of Tomes is something I'm definitely interested in. Of course, my participation is unique to me. I have been working on a script, but that's as far as I'll go. That's another topic. That's another topic.
That's another topic.
I have a deadline now, though, I understand.
Ooh.
I don't think it would take long to get people accustomed to it, but I should probably get it done a week before you go live, earliest. Otherwise, it'll be ready next season, or in the middle of a season. But we'll see.
All right, well, Coffee, do you want to explain Game of Tomes? I know there's a whole 1 hour panel on Game of Tomes that Sable Radia is doing, I believe, later today.
Yes, there is a 1 hour Game of Tomes panel, which will be Author Goddess will be hosting it and streaming it, and we will have the head of houses there as well. with Sable Aradia from House Lapin, CoffeeQuills from House Molesca, Aaron as the Undead Horde, and Siobhan from House Chirotera. So what ended up happening with this Game of Tomes was in November, we came up with an idea, and I say we, Sable and Aaron came up with it first and went, we should have just like a little competition. Who can write the most amount of words? And
during Nano, right? During
Nano, and that was the thing. It was during Nano, and it became a 6-house competition where each house collected minions.
Well,
Not sure if that's the right word.
6 major houses. Speaking as the head of
That's
House
true. That's true.
Sorapado, which is a minor
houses. we did have some minor houses as well, and thank you for reminding me on that. And it was during the stream, you would use channel points to say, I wrote this many words, please tally them up. And throughout November, each week, we tallied the points. And each week during NaNoWriMo, there was a elimination round. The undead horde would attack a house, one of the major houses, and possibly the minor house if they were attached.
Yes.
I believe you were on the claimed by the dead list, weren't you?
Yes, I was. But I made it. I made it through the first 2, even though my houses were chopped off from ahead of me. But I went down with the 3rd one.
So what ended up happening is it got a lot of people writing. A lot of people finished Nano when they had never finished Nano before. And Nano is 50K in 30 days, if you don't know. So then when April Camp Nano came around, it was decided to do the Tourney of Tales, which is a non-elimination, much more friendlier round of just collecting as many words as you can write. And we will be doing the same thing again in July, Tourney of Tales.
All right.
I think collectively, by the way, what did we claim? Something like 3 million words last, or 2 million words?
Holy moly.
2 million
across the whole competition in November.
200,000 words?
Yeah, something like that.
Collectively, yeah.
Joining, it's. I think you could just go on any of the streams and join, right? It's not really a sign up.
We do have a site explaining what you would need to do to join. I will look for that and pop it into the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, but essentially, yeah, you just have to you have to be on a stream that is collecting points. And again, the Anvilite Streamer Core kind of handles that. And during those competitions, we try, even if there's not somebody actively streaming, people will throw up like chat lobbies just to collect the points. So we get pretty close to 24/7 coverage. There might not be anybody on camera for a couple hours, but there'll be a stream running that you can connect to and use the chat to report your words.
Yeah.
And of course, while this is
And for the Pomodoro people out there, most if not all of them will also have a sprint timer running, either a 10 on, 5 off, or a 15 on, 5 off sprint timer, just to keep things going. So.
And of course, while this is a competitive competition, it's also cooperative. It's done in groups, so it does cause you to unite behind a literal banner and communicate with each other.
Yes.
Definitely.
Building that
Exactly.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no individual competition at all.
No.
In it, yeah, I mean, you're working for your family, for your house. Yeah.
You're working for your banner,
Yeah.
your head of house.
It's pretty cool.
I like the way that incorporates a lot of different people into one kind of area too, because it is a community effort. Writing, if you don't rely on other writers to help you understand what is effective, then you can't grow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a very good point.
I mean, people say that writing is a solitary profession, but
No.
you don't learn anything just sitting there staring at your own work all day.
Exactly. All you see is, yep, there's words.
I think they're good, but I've got nothing to compare them to because I only read my own stuff.
Exactly. Gets
Or
kinda
I
boring
read
after a
stuff that's
while.
been published and edited, 20 times over, and I'm
Yeah.
comparing my first draft to somebody's edited 20 times and published book,
Yeah.
which really should not be compared.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that
But
happens to all of us.
that's another advantage. A lot of, I think, I'm assuming the other communities as well as World Anvil provides, though, is
Mhm.
again we're big on showcases, and I'll spit off an article. I'll write 1,000 words on a topic, and somebody else will read it on their stream, and they'll find, besides finding the typos and grammatical mistakes, they'll also give the well, I don't really understand what you're getting at here, and a little, so you get kind of that alpha reader effect, and you can get it 10 minutes after you generated the product. I would say, I know, talking to some of the creative authors in World Anvil, by the time they're ready for what traditionally is an alpha reader, their stuff has probably already gone through 2 or 3 edit cycles.
Yeah.
All right, and so it's that much better just going into the standard process.
Yeah, the Writer's Workout has flash fiction. You can see it on Twitter. You can see it on Facebook. I see mine mostly on Facebook, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think you're also doing a publication this year, a literary magazine.
Yes.
Teresa?
We're doing, we launched a lit journal, literary journal. I need to stop speaking out loud in shortened words. So literary journal, it's called Waywords. So we do that quarterly. And then we're also doing a community anthology this year. It's called Tales from the Other Side. And it's just whatever your interpretation of that theme is.
That's interesting. There's actually, I was just thinking about it. We've got open mic with the Twitch Writers Network. We've got article showcases with World Anvil. We've got microfiction and definitely feedback when it comes to the Writer's Workout. And For the Words has a read section. And there's also the forum, too, where you can be like, hey, I put this in the read section. Could someone look over it?
Yeah. Well, and it's so hard, too, to like put your work out there and just say, hey, anybody in the world somewhere, please comment on this. It's so like nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Well, I think sharing your work is a vital part of growing as an author, but it's
Definitely
also a nerve-wracking part of it, and you do need a friendly, supportive community that you feel comfortable sharing it with, and even comfortable getting feedback from, even when it's not necessarily the best feedback. Because if you only get positive feedback, you're not going to learn anything.
Exactly. You might not like it, but if it's respectful, if it's respectful of you as a person, then that really helps.
Well, and like any positive feedback, you don't just say, "Oh, this sucked." It sucked because, and maybe you want to try this.
Exactly.
If you want to be really diplomatic, it could be better if
well,
you didn't have this or if you did this.
We use the word consider a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we use consider. We say, consider this option, or try to think about this other option.
It's actually one of the things I like about the feedback that I got last year for the Writers' Games was that my feedback was, this was good, consider this. And I was shown things about my own writing that I didn't consider anything special. I thought it was just, oh, that's normal. And some of the judges were like, oh, wow, we never even thought of this. We're like, wow, we've never seen this before. How did you combine that?
I mean, that's a great point as well. You do need people to tell you what you've done well. Otherwise, you might not even realize that you've done it well, and you might forget about it and lose that brilliant aspect of your writing.
Exactly. And I love the reader's gut instinct, too. because the reader, like, their first reaction to your piece is going to tell you a lot more than their third reaction.
That's true.
One of the things I like about World Anvil is you can heart someone's article and be like, I liked your article, and I read your article, and you can leave comments. You can do both, which is really nice.
That's cool. It's a really good system. I like that.
Yeah, I want to mention too, real quick, again, for the people not familiar with World Anvil. And I know I said I wasn't going to sell the product, but I do have to mention.
Nice.
We've talked about articles a lot, and certainly the lion's share of what we do, especially what we do on Twitch, is article related. But there is a whole manuscript system built into World Anvil as well that is designed for the literary, the creative writing crowd. For short stories and for novels, and again, go to the if you catch, there's a World Anvil stream tomorrow, I think.
I'll check on that.
Yeah, there's a 1 hour stream. It's actually being given by Janet and Dimmy, who are the two. The product, by the way, was created. Janet Forbes is an author, and she is a self-admittedly highly disorganized author. Dimitris is a programmer developer who, as a birthday present rather, for his wife, created World Anvil to help her get organized with her writing. They've grown to over 1.5 million people.
Holy cow.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, and it's technically still in beta, although it's supposed to 1.0 is supposed to happen this year officially. So.
And here I am, thrilled that the Twitch Writers Network is coming.
But Janet and Dimmy are two of the best people. Again, these are the two people that are behind the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they make it clear every time you talk to them that the only reason they're doing it is to support the writing community. They're not making a ton of money off it. They're not suffering, but they're not making
Oh, that's something writers know well.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, coffee. Oh, yeah, you did put that one up too. Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, I put that into the link. June 27th, 2 p.m. UTC is World Anvil for Writers. And I'm going to just plug mine in here as well. June 27th, 11 a.m. UTC is For the Words, which was one person's creation that has also blossomed into the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, that's the best thing about, I think, writer communities and creative communities as a whole, is that I can't think off the top of my head any writers community that is in it for themselves to make money off of it.
Yeah, I can't imagine how anybody would expect that.
Making money off of writing? What are we
Yeah,
talking
that's
about?
not going to happen.
Yeah.
Don't you have to die to have that happen? Actually,
Well,
so that's
I think
art.
that's the rule.
No, that's artists.
Yeah, that's fine. That's painting. Yeah.
it can be.
Yeah, we're just...
When you're running a Twitch channel and you have benefits for people who sub or people who give bits, it takes a long time to get people accustomed to that, to get them encouraged to continue the scheme you have set up. Well, I say scheme, I don't mean scam, I mean methodology. But that can be quite good, actually. But at that point, you're growing your audience somewhat organically, and it's always a great idea to include other social networks, other places to post your content, to be networked with other streamers, or with other streamer communities, to some extent. At the very least, to trade notes or participate in specific events such as what we're doing this weekend. And I've seen it work, but for the most part, it's much more casual. And gamers, which, this panel does, we are all, it's more general. So we can definitely give some advice to gamers. But they have the opportunity to do multiplayer. As creative writers, you can involve your chat to help you write. I've seen that work. Mezzanine, you probably remember her name.
I don't know what you're referring to.
No, the streamer who involves her chat to write a book. That's like her big thing.
Oh, yes, Miraculous Jamie.
Yes.
I've not seen her around in a while, but she was doing a project that she titled Twitch Writes a Book, and
Yeah.
she was encouraging her viewers to send in ideas for how this next scene is going to go, and where's our character going to go next, and what's going to happen next in the story. And if I'm honest, the first issue ended up being a little bit of a mess, so we decided to do more of an anthology type of thing in the second issue, and unfortunately my personal schedule changed, so I've not been involved in that for a good 6 months now, and I don't know what's going on with that
Yeah, it's
anymore.
been a month or so, but I hadn't seen her either. I won't give her a poke. But,
But
could be
it was
school
a great way to
related.
get her community involved in her writing.
Yeah. That's another.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to say we actually have something like that going on right now on World Anvil, on the gaming side. We 5 of us got together and said, we're gonna run a stream. We started with a quick Google Forms poll, just to get a few things, like what kind of setting, what kind of whatever. But we're building a full RPG adventure using the chat input.
That's amazing.
We're asking the chat, okay, what kind of monster, what should these monsters look like? What should we do here? What's going on? And
Nice.
I mean, already we're talking. We have an environment where vampires are the good guys and humans are the bad guys.
Love it.
All right.
That'll give you an idea of how those things can go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those kind of interactive projects because everybody just kind of builds creatively off of each other.
Yeah. It makes
for a
you
lot of
think.
exploring.
We're responsible for writing it. It makes us think outside our own boxes.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's a lot of fun, and everybody has a lot of fun. Even the people that aren't specifically writing, you get your idea in there somewhere, and and it's a blast.
Yeah.
I like seeing interpretations, like other people's interpretations of somebody else's idea, because how one person sees something and then how somebody else interprets it is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's one of the wonderful things about fan fiction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is some really bad fan fiction out there, and it gives the whole genre a bad rap because there's so much of it. Of course, there's going to be a lot of chaff to sort through to get to the wheat.
Yeah.
Which genre?
Fan fiction in general.
Actually,
Oh, fan fiction.
bad fan fiction has become a genre of writing unto itself. If you ever look up the term scuffed.
Oh no, I can imagine from the title, from the name of the genre, that's going to be appalling.
Well, it's also probably very familiar. I don't think
I mean,
it's deviated much from the original Wattpad vomit.
To be honest, any genre that you look at, you can find quote unquote bad writing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
But
in
it's
some
done it.
cases, it's just unedited.
Hmm.
Or it's somebody who
Because,
hasn't experienced writing before.
yeah. Or other cases, I know it's second language writing even.
Yeah.
So someone who doesn't know the second language is writing in it, and that's amazing. But the problem is we don't know where the person is coming from to figure out good or bad in that sense. I mean, okay, I have to admit, I read and I write like splatterpunk. Splatterpunk, it can be the worst written sometimes.
Hmm.
But it's all those slasher gore horrible B movies in book format.
But those are so fun.
But those are so fun. And that's what I'm saying is, depending who your audience is going to depend if it's good or bad. And then there's, like I said, the ones where we talked earlier about you need to be able to accept criticism. You need to be able to change your writing and not think that your first draft is perfect. Because I know writers who have told me, oh, yeah, I wrote a book. And I'm like, awesome. Did you edit it? And they're like, oh, no, I put it up on a self-publishing. And I'm like, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, publishing it is how you make the magic happen, I guess.
I will admit that I did exactly that with my first book. I wrote it and I self-published it, and then I had a bunch of people tell me, you should probably give this a second pass and an edit, mate.
Whoops.
Hey, feedback.
But you learn from the experience.
Yeah.
I often call fan fiction a gateway drug because it pulls a lot of writers into actual creative, like other creative outlets. It's how I started. It's how everybody that I know started writing is fan fiction.
Yeah.
I think it's similar in a lot of art formats. There's probably a lot of artists out there that start by drawing their favourite characters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And musicians certainly start by playing their favourite songs.
And imitation is the best form of flattery.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the for me in the late '90s, I started with roleplay aspect of fandoms. We were using the JavaScript-based Be Seen chat room because I was, I don't know, afraid of IRC, but I ended up on IRC anyways, even well before Twitch. And Yahoo chat rooms and the horrors within, but all the roleplay really assisted the writing because it's very immediate. It's even, I would say, even more immediate than a published fan fiction.
Oh, for sure.
So it really helped encourage me right when I was really young. But then I went through like phases of different fandoms and gone to conventions, and so I like to say I'm much more experienced now, but nah, we all have room to learn for sure.
I don't know, maybe Dinosaur Bob can help on that one, but I think gamers do the exact same thing. At least with D&D, there's this edition, this edition, this edition, and there's fights over which edition is the best one.
Oh yeah, there definitely are. Yeah, the role playing, the whole RPG world is you have different. There's different. First of all, there's different genres to go with different game rule systems, and there's always people fighting and arguing over which is better and this and that. But I was going to say, you know, you mentioned Theresa. You mentioned gateway drugs.
Yes.
Doing your own RPG settings is another one of those.
Oh, yes.
Speaking from experience.
I have experience there too.
You know, I mean, I've been home brewing worlds for 45 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, that's why there's dinosaur in my name. So.
I forgot. I need to be a little quiet. It's 2:44 a.m. here.
But you know, especially in the last year with World Anvil, I've been writing so much and getting so deep into the world that you can't help from starting to think about, you know, even some of the characters that I'm setting up as just NPCs that are going to show up for 2 minutes in a game, and I find myself thinking about their whole life story.
Yep.
And why don't I write their whole life story? I gave it a shot, actually back last September, October. The villain in the first adventure that I wrote for my first level 1 characters, I wrote a short story that was basically the villain's point of view about what happened to him.
Wow.
So, didn't
and a lot of that
get
too.
published. I tried one. Sable helped me find one potential publishing outlet that didn't pan out, but it's there, and I'm happy with it, and I'm proud of it. So
You should be proud of it, yeah.
writing those backstories too helps you explore the world and how it came to be the way that it is, and then you can kind of refer back to the way it was before, or other different things that help make it breathable.
Well, to give a quick idea, I mean, J.R.R. Tolkien's Silmarillion was 220,000 words, I believe. So that, I mean, that was his background for the Lord of the Rings, was, you know, just his background material.
Yeah.
I'm at 350,000 words for my world right now.
So you're right on track.
So yeah.
All right.
Well, imagine what Wheel of Time would have if it had a World Anvil account. That would have been an amazingly massive site.
Well, then we might actually know what was going on then too. Yeah. See, now if George R.R. Martin had a World Anvil account, we'd know how Game of Thrones is supposed to end.
Now the series got it right. The series got it spot on.
Yeah.
Full-length novel in 1 month. I mean, that's a challenge, all right.
Yeah, Game of Tomes last year in November. Game of Tomes and For the Words and NaNoWriMo all combined together, and I wrote, somehow, I really don't know this, how, over... I wrote 2 nanos in a week. 100,000 words in a week.
But when did you sleep?
I do not know. And I burnt out so badly. I limped through the last week of Nano, just because I wanted to get the Nano count, 1,667 words. I wanted to get that every day, because I set goals for myself that maybe I need to reevaluate sometimes.
I have learned over the last week that if Coffee has work to do, she will not sleep.
Yeah, I'm the same way. That's why we get along so well.
Yeah. But...
That's another thing, though, too, because burnout is it is a very real, stressful issue. And if you have the best writing community that fits for you, burnout is not a problem. I mean, your whole, everybody just kind of works together and helps you through that.
True. And in fact, even if you need to step back from your own writing for a little while, these communities give you a way to basically stay in touch.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that staying in touch will help you get out of the doldrums, after that first 2 or 3 days of recovery.
Yes.
From burnout. And now you start into should I get started again? If you're with these even if you're just watching other people's streams and seeing other people write, it gets you back in the mood to do it.
Definitely. And that interaction too, you depend on those people to expect more from you. And so they're kind of asking you, what are you working on? How can I help? Etc. It really helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes it's good just rambling to some random streamer about a plot point or something, or asking questions about a sentence. I know there's a few editors you can find on Twitch, like Birdie and Element and Final Boss.
I was going to put Element Eds in the chat because I know her best.
She is a fantastic editor.
I'm trying to put as many links in the chat as possible because I personally am a link person. I would be clicking on every single thing because I need that to help me just keep up with the conversation and be like, oh, hey, I want to follow this person. So ignore me as I do the same thing.
I'm always like, open a new tab, and then it's 1,000 tabs, and I don't know what end is up.
Yeah. So it is 10 till. So we're going to be taking a break, top of the hour, and then the next hour we can take questions from the audience or...
Oh, that's sweet. Fantasy says, watching y'all streams for writing helped me finish my novel's rough draft at long last. Kept me
Oh, that's
focused and
awesome.
thinking time to work on that.
Hmm?
Yay.
Oh, yay.
I was
Yes.
actually thinking a moment ago, we had a post on the Twitch Writers Network this morning, someone saying that watching CONduit has encouraged them to get back into doing their writing streams.
Oh, my goodness.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it really does help seeing other people going through the process. It really does help encourage you to get back into it when you've taken some time away.
Oh, for sure. It makes it more accessible, too.
Yeah. And on that note, for these new streamers who don't realize there's other creative writing streamers out there, shout out to you. You're, for the moment, until one of us perhaps stops in, are waving the banner by yourself, aren't you? It's awesome.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
I guess. Okay, well, Ryder Lee, you keep pushing the Dungeons and Dragons campaign that you have started on the Twitch Writers Network, which I'm quite happy about. That is another way you can grow your community. It is a creative writing form of multiplayer that you can do on or off stream. And I know gamers who made it part of their thing. So it's kind of like it's in between. It's a good side content for gamers or for creative writers, or just to do for fun and not make it about streaming. It's a good practice. It's role playing. It's got some numbers involved, so that could be a better thing. I don't know, to make it more enticing, more technical. I know people play Dungeons and Dragons in a variety of ways. Maybe let somebody else do the numbers, and you can just do the role play. That's good too.
Well, and on top of that, you don't have to have everything you do with your writing community be something that's writing related.
Yeah.
It is good to take a step back and get to know them in other ways and play some games with them, have some just general conversations with them. It doesn't all have to be about, let's get the words in, let's share our stories, let's build and grow. It can be, let's be friends. You can make friends through it.
In fact, I've come to realize that homebrewing a world for role-playing games. First of all, everything I do to build a world is the same thing that a novelist has to do to build a world around the characters that are going to be in the story. The difference is, and this is what makes it I think a good challenging exercise for creative writers, is that despite the fact that you'll hear authors from time to time say, I don't know what this character is going to do next. All right, you know what the character is going to do next because you get to pick what the character is going to do next. I don't get to pick what the character is going to do next.
Yep.
All right, so I have to build a world, enough of a framework of a world, so that when I decide, if I think the characters are going to go either A, B, or C, and they say, no, we're going to go D, I have to build D around them on the fly. And again, a creative writer could think of that as an exercise.
Yeah.
Boom. Here's the new situation. Put a world around it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
The players will surprise you. I sometimes come across little short stories about campaigns. And I know one that stands out recently was, I think it was an Ask Reddit. It's like, what item did you give your players that surprised you? And it was a whistle that calls a pig. Don't give your players a whistle that can call a pig. It's a free pig. They had pigs
Right?
all the time. They had so many pigs.
For rations?
One thing they know
For rations, for battles, for whatever they could use them for. They just made it work. And
Release the pigs.
Dwarven bacon, yeah.
got an injured halfling on your team.
I get plus points from the World Anvil community for mentioning dwarven bacon, by the way. So.
I am curious to learn about what dwarven bacon is, considering I particularly like playing dwarven characters.
Well, as a matter of fact, we have two competing versions of it going on right now in different exercises. One of them is, of course, the bacon made by dwarves and preferred by dwarves everywhere. And the other one comes out of that vampires are the good guys, humans are the bad guys world. Because the humans basically, there was this horrible catastrophe above ground, so the humans went underground and they wiped out the dwarves. But food was a problem. So dwarven bacon is a whole different thing.
Long pig.
I can-
I see you in the direction of long pig.
I could kind
Yes,
of
made from real dwarves instead of by real dwarves. Yes.
I could
Now,
imagine how Chad got from here to there on that.
My next question is, how well does dwarven bacon go with Terry Pratchett's dwarven bread?
Huh? I don't know. I don't think that's been discussed, but I'll have to bring it up.
You need to bring that up, definitely. Now, I know Itashi already answered a question that came from the chat, but I thought maybe I would just reiterate it and see if there's anything else we could add to it.
Sure.
So the question was pretty much, so for the quote-unquote writing experts in the room,
Oh, good. I just answered that.
is there any advice you have for someone who is really anxious about criticism? And Itanshi already said there's a couple of ways he would go about. There's immersive therapy. When asking for a review, you can specify what you expect and specify what you want. And if you want to go raw, just say, roast me.
Yeah.
But what about you guys? Do you guys think you have something to add to that? Maybe not the roasting part.
I think it really helps to be getting criticism from someone that you trust and know has your best interests at heart, your story's best interests at heart, and just wants to improve your writing and is not looking to tear you down. If you are getting it from someone that you know well enough to know is doing it positively, then it can be a lot easier to take and actually listen to.
Yeah, I was going to say, look around, find a streamer. You know, if we're talking about doing this, you know, in a Twitch context, find a streamer, or, you know, find somebody who does reviews of articles, and watch them do a few, you know, several for other people. All right, and well, it gives you a chance to realize, you know, hopefully, you know, you found somebody who is positive, who is reinforcing, and even when they're being harsh, isn't being harsh. You know, they're being thorough, but they're not being cruel. Once you've even after seeing a few of those, you're going to still be anxious the first time you do it. But at least you'll have an idea of what to expect, and then after you do it 3 or 4 or 5 times, it gets easy. It definitely gets easier as it goes. So,
I mean, even if you've been doing, like, having other people critique your work for years, it's still nerve-wracking.
mm-hmm.
Even if you trust your source, it just, because writing is a piece of you, and you put it onto paper and you give it to somebody else. It's very nerve-wracking. A lot of people can't really stomach it, and that's okay.
It definitely can be difficult, because I know to me, and I've been told off by some actual parents for saying this, but to me, my stories are my babies.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not I seeing them ripped to shreds.
I mean,
Yeah.
when I was young, I had a bit of fan fiction my dad tried to read and I told him not to. Then I was like, was it this year? When did I last work on that spelunking story? I showed him that, and he like corrected one typo and had no comments. It's like, you don't realize how long it's been since I gave you anything. And that's, I don't know. It's not like I gave him, not that I specified anything about how to review it. Not that he's experienced with the reviewing, but it's like, I don't know. It wasn't really emotional, but it should have been maybe.
Yeah. Something about criticism, though, is that what one person finds as constructive may actually not be helpful.
Right.
For example, if the phrase mutually assured destruction, that is a set phrase. That is a set phrase. You cannot change that. And I had someone who took to heart that adverbs had no place in your writing and to strike out all of the ly words.
No, no, no.
And they actually did hit my phrase, and they're like, mutually assured destruction, can you change this and get rid of that adverb?
No.
And I'm like, no.
No.
But here's the thing. I knew when she hit that, like, okay, this person does not know my genre. This person does not know, no, that was not Birdie, actually, it's someone else. Birdie has not edited any of my work, actually. But this person does not know the apocalyptic genre because they do not know that phrase.
Yeah.
So you have to take into consideration, you can ask anybody to look over your work, but they may not be the best person to do so.
Right.
So
Multiple sources also. I always recommend multiple sources.
Yes.
definitely. And there's a follow-up question to Merrick's point about our work being, as important to us as a child, as a baby. With that in mind, is it possible to write without being overly engrossed in your project?
Mhm.
That depends on you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Depends on the
I definitely
person
get
and what you
engrossed.
hope to achieve with it.
I mean, if you're engrossed in your own writing of one story, I think that's a talent you could have.
Yeah.
Because I keep posting and finding memes about getting another story idea walks by. That's okay though. I mean, especially if you're not a Remo. I mean, last year, though I didn't complete it, the first week I was like, I'm gonna do this story. I gave it a week to work on it before it started. Then I went for a drive day one. It's like I'm doing a different story, completely different. And actually, probably got the farthest with that story in word count. It was half, I guess, but still pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been writing for about 14 years and engrossed in a single story for about 18 years.
Wow.
I like
So-
all of my stories. I get sucked into them. I guess the question for me is, how long am I sucked into the story?
Yeah.
yeah, I think the other question is, how do you define engrossed?
Mm,
If you're not taking the work seriously, then then you're gonna get whatever.
Yeah. If you're
Wow.
only engrossed in it while you're working on it, it doesn't really count. If it
Now,
kind of
does-
consumes everything you do, then it's different.
Right now, if engrossed means focused on the story to the exclusion of things like eating and sleeping, that's not healthy either.
I make no comment there.
Coffee chokes, yes.
no comment. Yeah, my
had the
household has
reason.
gotten to the point where they're like, "Coffee, have you eaten anything today?" And I'm like, "Huh?"
All right.
Or
It's a day
the
of the week.
question,
I don't.
So, are we good, or we want to take a break?
A little break wouldn't hurt.
All right, we can take a break. I actually need to air out my room.
It's getting a bit
a
warmer
small
here.
break, maybe a couple of minutes to get
Okay.
coffee or something, or take a bio break if anyone
Yeah.
needs it yourself.
All
I'm
right.
talking to the audience members there.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take my own advice, and I'll be right back.
Likewise.
You can look at all my lovely hedgehogs
Yeah.
and the fallout.
See if
Yeah.
I can get my Cal camera to stay there. Not quite. Hang on. Use this empty mug. There we go.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mute the audio. So we'll be back in, when everyone else is back. So I don't have any funny music or BRB. I'm just gonna cut my camera and mic and get a fan going. This is ridiculous. So we'll be taking more questions afterwards. So feel free to get them ready.
They could also have a... Okay, Gemma actually added to the backstage panel in the Discord, which, Theresa, your
Okay.
members of Writer
Okay.
Workout may want to go to the Discord and go to Panel Room 1 chat,
Okay.
Audio live.
because that would be the place to ask questions if they do not have a Twitch account.
Ah,
How are they watching this if they don't have a Twitch account?
they're
I
watching this
don't
while they're
know.
logged in. You don't have to be logged into Twitch to watch the streams.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
true.
my fault.
Okay, sounds good. Feel free to link that. So we are live again.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, right.
Deep, deep.
Are we back?
Yep.
We are back.
Rightly so. Considering
So a
Sakura
good
was
question was
responding
brought up about trying to find the how to ask questions. So you can either ask questions through the Twitch chat, or you can go to the Writers Conduit Discord. The button is on the website, and you can check out how to ask questions there as well.
If you are asking a question in chat, could you put the word question at the beginning so that we definitely notice it?
Oh, definitely. Good point.
We also had someone add some advice. You can always have a trusted third party, like a friend, a family member, or an agent, read reviews for you and filter at reviews that will send you into a doom spiral.
Yes.
Or, because we're
Yes.
talking about criticism.
Avoiding that.
Exactly. Yeah. Reframing constructive criticism into something in a language that you would do better with. So.
Sounds good. So if there's any channels I could add to my command there. Pretty good start.
That's all the editing I know of. Wait, what about final boss editing?
Yeah.
Oh wait, you've got
He's
it.
in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That first one on the list. Good job, Coffee. Great reading
All
skills.
good. Yep.
Oh, there you got a volunteer on the chat to be added to the list.
Oh, you want to? Oh.
Yep.
Nice.
Satoru says they would like to be added. They do edit works, although it is not often.
So,
Nice.
That's good.
Okay.
I'm far from a professional editor, but I'm happy to help look through people's works with them. I do that from time to time.
All right.
Yeah. And I have channel points actually on mine which say you can do an article showcase from World Anvil, or you can do proofreading just for anything in general. Okay, here's a question. If you want to take that one, Itanshi.
Oh, sure. What's a good metric to gauge whether if an online community isn't right for you? How do you tell between unsuitable and haven't learned to utilize properly yet? Well, unsuitable, I mean, low-hanging warning signs is how well it's managed or how popular it is, which, to be fair, could mean it's underwhelming or overwhelming. And unsuitable could also refer to how you wish to utilize it. Are they primarily gaming or memeing or participating in writing relating functions of Dungeons and Dragons, which doesn't have to be the same thing. Haven't learned to utilize properly yet. If it's overwhelming, it may give you an opportunity to research why. It's possible they're just chatting about random things and it's just cycling chat, or maybe it forces slow mode occasionally, which, by the way, if you're running a Discord community and you have, like, I would say even under 200 people in your community, you don't need slow mode.
Yeah.
I would add the first check, I think, is, are you comfortable?
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
Are you just comfortable listening in? You know, or is what you're hearing and seeing from others in the chat, you know, causing you any discomfort? If the answer to that is yes, then move on quickly. If the answer to that is no, then you can start moving on to the, okay, these are fun people, but are they giving me what I need? You know, what I want and need? And that's when you can, again, now you start paying attention to what they say, and are they talking about similar topics, or at least the same kind of category topics that you're interested in or worried about. And if the answer is yes, then it's probably a good fit. If the answer is no, then again, it might, there might be fun people to hang out with, but if you're really looking for something to improve your writing and they're not doing it, then don't do it. I mean, I can tell you, there's a number of streams that I take part in regularly.
Yeah. That
I'm not doing it for writing improvement. I'm doing it for comfort. Because there is that too. I'm doing it for enjoyment. I can help too. That's the other thing too, is you'll find as you become a regular in chats, you'll become part of the whole process.
Yeah.
So like I said, first check comfort, second check utility.
I want to actually definitely say Bob is right with the order of that.
Yeah.
I joined a group where the utility came first, and I'm like, this is going to be a great group. We all have the same goal, etc., etc. And I did not realize it was pretty much a toxic feedback loop. It just kept going in a circle, and supposedly it was about writing and about getting writing in front of people, and it just became really toxic to be in. And when I realized, as Dinosaur Bob said, the first thing you do if you feel uncomfortable, don't be in the group no matter what it gives you. I'm like, wait a second, I am so uncomfortable in this group. It's not giving me anything. It's giving me stress and anxiety. Okay, thank you all very much. I'm peacing out. Bye. And I kind of wonder how they're doing right now, but I'm not poking my head back in that Discord room.
And I think a good red flag to keep an eye out for that is negativity. Now, a community that is entirely positive is not going to help you at all, but if there is so much negativity that it's all you're seeing, you're not going to be comfortable there. You're just going to be getting torn down again and again. If it's a lot of complaints, a lot of negativity, it's not going to help you because it's just going to make you depressed.
Yeah, and that's what happened here. It was like a completely negative community. And it's funny because Satoru says, but how can anyone, dislike you guys? And I'm like, actually, I've had people tell me they don't want to hang out in my streams because I'm too toxically positive.
Oh my goodness.
Interesting.
So, but that's the thing. If you don't feel comfortable with me chirping about positive and progress and you're doing great things, you're probably not going to feel very comfortable in my stream. Let's be honest.
It is a challenge, though, I think. If you're looking for a stream that's going to make you better as a writer, or as anything, but this could apply to any hobby or profession or whatever. If you're looking for a group that's going to make you better, then they need to A, challenge you, and B, correct you. All right. The question is, how do they do that? Do they make you feel like an idiot? When you give them something that's less than optimal, or do they positively show you what you did wrong and how to do it right? All right, so you have to, you don't want somebody, I think, Merrick, you said, you don't want somebody that's going to do nothing but say, this is wonderful, this is beautiful, here's your participation trophy. You don't get anything out of that.
Yeah,
It's nice sometimes.
It's nice to have the good things acknowledged, but if you don't have, what you can work on acknowledged too, that's not helpful.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the trick is finding a group that'll tell you what you're doing wrong and how to fix it.
Yeah.
And do it in a way that doesn't demean you. And that is, and the test line is going to vary depending on who you are. There are people with higher sensitivity levels than others. I mean, I might, and I have to be careful even in my own. We try as streamers to learn our regular audience. I've got a few regulars who I know I have to be a little more careful with than others, when I'm reading their work,
Yeah.
So,
Well, and my favorite word in this regard is achievable. If the way that the information is presented makes it achievable, then you're in the right place. But if it doesn't seem achievable to you, you probably should look elsewhere.
Now, we did have a follow-up question in chat from Sky Ardens. What about communities where you and or your work is just straight up not understood?
That's a rough one.
Yes.
I guess the easy answer would be that's again another just doesn't fit. You might want to link if it seems like a nice community, but then you might want to try to stick around and see if you can swing a little understanding.
Yeah, lurk for a bit.
Yeah, but again, that's one of those, you've got a job and it's not a horrible job, but it's not the job you want. So you're kind of keeping an eye out for another one. But you don't have to run away right away.
Yeah, Sky, I feel like you're looking for a sensitivity editor or reviewer. So it's not so much you're looking for a community, you're looking for a person. Maybe 3.
Which, on Twitter, they have I forget what the hashtag is, which is super helpful right now, but they actually have a whole group of people that will sensitivity edit for people.
Yeah. I mean, it depends where you go as well. I went to, and I forgot the name of it, so sorry for that. I went to an online critiquing group specifically to get the first couple of chapters of a book I'm writing critiqued. And the feedback I got from 4 out of the 5 people that were the critiquers, 4 of them just went, I could not read this. You are not using he or she as a pronoun. What is this junk?
Oh my goodness, that's so rude.
Absolute, I was like, wow, okay, you are not my audience.
Nope.
Understood.
Yeah, that's...
And the last person goes, and I'm like, this I understand. The last person went, and they're like, hey, I don't normally read this pronoun, and it was a little hard for me to get into your writing. But I think that if I read more of it, it would be fine.
Better.
I'm like, see, that at least, if you don't read it normally, at least tell me that.
Yeah. That was much more diplomatic.
Yeah, that was much more diplomatic. The other 4 out of the 5, though, the other 4 were just really rude about it. And I'm like, well, this was a sci-fi community. If anyone would understand neo-pronouns, I kind of thought the sci-fi community would.
I don't know. I'm still surprised about the soap opera genre. A long time with soap operas in the U.S., it was about addressing topics to a kind of the at-home audience that they don't usually experience because they're at home. So that could deal with, whatever issues that families have. But right around the time where the bottom fell out and they started canceling programs, it's like they really didn't touch on gay marriage or anything like that. They didn't have any LGBT plot lines. It's so weird. They could have done it a lot earlier, granted, but I felt like the timing was unfortunate. They can use it as an excuse. It's like, I don't even know. I don't even want to talk to them.
There was actually a daytime soap opera in the UK that really impressed me with one of those. Really, really cheap production value, cheap actors, bad acting, brilliant scripts. And what impressed me was that they had a week-long plot line about a character that was coming to terms with his asexuality despite the fact that he's got a wife and 3 kids.
Wow.
That's
intense.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sometimes it really is just continuing to look for a community. Or if you can't find a whole community, finding, I think as DinosaurBob was pointing out earlier, kind of curating your own community.
Yeah.
And understanding who you would want to be in your community which, by the way, this is why I was so happy for this panel. I get all my wonderful communities together. I was so happy about this.
I mean, what you could do, assuming they are all on Discord, I guess you could also get them on Twitter, is to, well, on Discord, I think you can add notes to people and you can organize them somehow. And it's not that they're all necessarily in a community together, but in your DMs, you can keep track, keep in contact.
Yeah. Twitter, you can make lists of people.
Yeah, I find that really helpful too.
Yeah, it's also fun to look at the list you are on and just check and see where you're at.
Yeah.
I've got some very interestingly named ones. Stealing your friends from the oldest community and setting up your own, pretty much.
Yeah.
I like how Terry Talks Fiction has that.
Yeah. Curating your own community for the kinds of things you write? Certainly. I mean, I wouldn't want to hold anyone back with the thought that you might have a hard time getting new people because they're already in a max number of Discord servers. But feel free to make a Discord community and customize it to your utility. And it may be really slow to grow, but ideally it will be right in line with what you need it to be. And you can add your friends, you can add your community from your Twitch. I think actually streaming to Twitch your creative writing in order to grow a Discord community to fit your utility that you designed your Discord community, it's not so much about growing your Twitch as it is growing your Discord, and I think you'll get some use out of it. I mean, granted, when you join a large community, such as the Writers Conduit Discord or the Twitch Writers Network Discord or a dozen others that I'm in, it may be tailored to their own purposes, but they'll certainly have channels that you can make use of. You can certainly network the people. You can ask questions and find people that align with you, and they might have a channel that you post your Twitch Go Live or your less often, but your Discord channel. You can use, again, you're using your Twitch channel to push your Discord channel. So
I like how he says that, and I'm just like, I'm sitting here, I do not have my own Discord set up yet.
Well,
I've almost been streaming Twitch for like a full year. My 1 year anniversary is in the middle of July, unlike Bob's, whose 1 year anniversary is at the beginning of July.
I mean,
And I'm like, oh, Discord. Yeah, I should actually get started on making my own Discord server. Whoops.
So what is this cyber cafe that I'm a member of that you're the server owner of?
It is the Cyber Cafe, but I had no idea what I was doing.
that's all right.
I've gotten some people to say what they would want in my Discord, so I'm almost ready to open it. And in fact, probably after CONduit, but before July 1st, I will make that public on my Twitch channel that I have a Discord, and you can come poke me over there.
Yeah.
CoffeeQuills.
I mean, your Twitch channel is doing quite well. I mean, it's okay to have the reverse speech somewhat true. Of course, in that case, you're in a variety of Discords. You're networking with people, and they migrate to your stream, and your Discord is what you need it to be, which may not be anything right now.
I just like gathering good beans.
Yep.
And there are other places to gather communities.
Yeah.
You've got Twitter and Facebook groups. To be honest, I mostly stick to the Discord stuff, so I might not be the best to talk on this topic.
Yeah, Twitter is definitely useful. Reddit has a really good community, and they also have Discords associated with the writing subreddits. For gamers, they have great success with TikTok. Though as creative writers, well, I mean, we are creatives. Well, we could probably make use of it, but I don't quite know how just yet. Some people read books on there. I'm not sure how far they get into the book. It's only a minute, but... YouTube Shorts are an alternative to TikTok. BookTube is a big deal on YouTube, and CC Writes is a booktuber who is doing fairly well here on Twitch. That's, of course, Kavana.
Ah, right.
Yeah, she's on in the mornings.
Terry Talks Fiction in chat has a good point. I find joining new Discord servers always overwhelming, especially if there's more than like 4 people already on there. Something to keep in mind when you're, especially if you're, a little unsure of how you want to fit and that. The beauty of Discord is, no matter how big it is, you get to consume Discord at your pace. So, I mean, I'll use the World Anvil Discord as an example. All right, there are typically at any given time there are between 300 and 400 people actively keying on that Discord.
Wow.
At any time of the day. There are 30,000 signed up members in the Discord.
That's amazing.
Which is actually small out of the 1.5 million people that have gotten invites to it. But I will tell you, I mean, there's 100 channels, all right, and I'm one of the people that's fairly active in the Discord, but I'm fairly active in about 6 of those channels.
Yeah.
All right. I do not try. First, the worst thing you can do is look at the Discord and say, "Oh, I have to answer all of this, or I have to read it
Oh my god.
No,
So much.
And Discord makes it nice. You can turn off certain channels. If you realize that this isn't a channel you care about, then turn it off so you don't notice that there's 200 new messages in that channel.
Definitely explore what works for you and,
Yeah.
and find the avenues of that group that work for you.
Well,
Right,
Theresa, Writer's Workout has the great forum too.
We do, but we don't use it as much as we should.
Yeah, but the text-based ones, whether they're forums or Discords or whatever, again, they have the advantage. You have the advantage of being able to decide how much of all of this do you want to participate in.
Right.
Even within the Discord. So you can start with 1 or 2 channels, and then maybe branch out, or you find out something else is going on in one of the other channels that's interesting. So you can kind of work your way in. You don't have to dive in and become a part of every one of the 37 conversations that are going on 37 channels. All right, and in fact, if you do that, you're going to drive yourself nuts.
Very quickly, yes.
Yeah.
I'm just telling fantasy, and I'm like, nope, sorry, I'm still your audience for your book.
Yeah.
I like horror and splatterpunk. He really cannot scare me on things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Maximilian. Yeah, Mark is red is your friend. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, Mark is red, Mark is red, Mark is red.
Well, not only Mark is red, but you can hide the channel. If it's a channel you find you never read, just hide it.
Yep.
Exactly.
Could take breaks occasionally.
Completely off topic, but I'm suddenly noticing that a lot of the horror writers that I know are bubbly, energetic, friendly women.
Yeah, it's amusing actually.
Why is that a problem?
It's not. It's just like
No,
Just a
I'm not
highlight.
sides of personality.
I think everybody
That's
has
Here's
that
the
kind
clown.
of other side. But yes, I do very much like writing gore. I write serial killers, so it's fun.
Yeah, I've had people be like, "Oh, you write?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "So you write children's books?" I'm like, "No," and they're like, "But you're so like bubbly and cheerful and smiley," and I'm like, "And your point?" They're like, "Oh, so young adult then?" Like, no, you completely missed the point.
Yeah.
I remember the first time someone in the Twitch Writers Network shared one of their stories at open mic night, and they were this lovely, bubbly, friendly, energetic girl, and
Yeah.
suddenly I'm being showered with gore and dead things, and not what I was expecting at all.
It's fun though because you need that outlet. I mean, as human beings, we need an outlet somewhere at some point, and as writers, I think it's a lot stronger. That need for the
right
Yeah.
for children.
Release, I guess.
Terry, real quick. Terry back in chat. Explain part of the problem to you. I guess being in Oz makes most of the communities you find. Let me tell you, I mean, being on the East Coast in the United States, it happens to everybody. I'll get up, I'll open my phone up at 7 o'clock in the morning and see a really, really great conversation that I have something to offer to. And then I look at the timestamps and I realize that this was a bunch of Euro folk 5 hours ago. So it happens. It comes with the territory. Sometimes you throw your 2 cents in anyway, and it revives the conversation. And other times it just lies there and goes away, and and you move on.
Yeah, and in the UK, I'll get up in the morning and find out that the American West Coast has been having a conversation all night, and they've just gone to bed, and I've missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I'm up at 5 a.m. I get to say good morning to everyone in the UK, and it's kind of awkward like that. Of course, reverse can be true too.
Yeah. Being in Japan, I get the short end of the stick when it comes to conversations. And I'm like, I really need to meet more like Aussie and Kiwi writers because they're at least closer to my
We
time.
definitely need a bigger Australian, New Zealand representation in some of these groups, I think.
Thought I met some on Twitch.
There's just enough now to make, again, as a US East Coaster, there's just enough Aussie New Zealand to make me realize they're underrepresented and kind of feel sorry for them.
Absolutely.
And kind of try to make accommodation for them too.
Well, and there's so few that I can think of, like just off the top of my head, that I actually know their names and I can list them just right off the top of my. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As Coffee just waves, hi.
How many can I think of?
And yet two of our 6 major houses from Game of Tomes are from the East Asia area, Coffee and Chrysalia.
Chrysalia's in Malaysia, and I'm in Japan.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, that was part of the weird way I fit into the World Anvil community at the beginning, was popping in to be like the 3 a.m. U.S. time zone. That was a good time for me, and that filled the gap on the calendar. And
when those weirdos are up.
Yeah, if I hadn't had that weird time gap, then, hey, maybe I wouldn't have streamed. Nobody would have asked me to stream. And so it fits together. And I'm glad that my time zone has helped me find my communities as well. I feel like I've definitely found more people than the time zone has chased away people.
I know I love watching your streams, so that really helps. I'm glad that you stream.
Thank you. Now we get into Grim.
Yeah, feel free to ask questions in the chat. Got another 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, wow. Time is flying very fast.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have something to start us off in the conversation if no one's going to ask a question. All the different writing groups here, what's coming up in July or August that you want to talk about?
I'll start with something we all heard. I'll start with something we all heard already. In the World Anvil community, we have Summer Camp 2021. 31 article prompts in 31 days.
That's August, isn't it? Or no, sorry. Sorry, no.
And laid over the top of that, we acknowledge Camp Nano. I think World Anvil is actually one of the co-sponsors now of Nano too, or they're one of many. And on top of both of those, we have the Game of Tomes. So
Game of Tomes.
It's going to be a quiet month for the World Anvil community.
Does Game of Tomes?
So the focuses.
Does Game of Tomes have its own dedicated webpage?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it does now.
Yeah, we switched and we do now. Yes, I'll put it back into the chat as well.
Sure.
And like I said, you don't have to be a World Anvilite to play Game of Tomes, but you do have to you do have to sign into one of the, or hook into one of the Twitch streams of the people collecting word counts.
Theresa, is registration closed for the Writers' Games?
Actually, we made a ton of spaces, so we have a few left. Like more than I ever made before, but we have a few left. Yeah. So registration for Writers' Games is always limited because we want to be sure that we provide enough judges per participant to give everybody like a good solid 3 or 4 judges per person. And that really helps with the feedback because all of the judges produce feedback per entry. So to be sure that everybody gets like the kind of fair, unbiased treatment, we have to limit registration. But we made a ton of spaces this year. There's I would say less than 100 left. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I signed up early because I love the games and I look forward my calendar and just mark like 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Like this is it.
Well, and next year we'll be back to our spring and fall
Nice.
portion system. But this year we had to do one big one.
Yeah, makes sense.
Let's see what else we have. In July, I think it's our 4th issue of our literary journal opens up. And we've got our anthologies accepting applications right now.
When does the anthology close?
I think it's at the end of September.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the Tales from the Other Side closes at the end of September, possibly.
Yeah. Yes. Tons of time.
I may be trying to submit to that too.
Yes, please do. I love reading your work too. I always try to make time every week to read whatever you submit because it's so much fun.
And this is Coffee just not doing compliments. I'm gonna go.
Totally right there with you.
Yeah.
You know, it occurs to me I've not actually seen any of your work, Coffee, and I now feel like I really need to.
Yes, you do, definitely.
Oh, feel free to put any links you want in the chat.
I was actually going to put a link to the anthology that Maximilian was asking about.
All right.
But I know for the words, we're getting ready for the River Festival that's starting July 1st. We do our events a little along the NaNoWriMo timeline. April, July, and November tend to be our bigger events. But we also have during the year smaller events like Love Week and Tico Week because our company is from Costa Rica, so we celebrate Tico Week. And we also had the Ogmai Festival in April, which was fun. Here's the Writers Workout Publications link. I've put that into the chat as well. I do have some online work that I do web serials, but I feel a little bad. I got burnt out so bad with them last year. I have not revisited them, and they've kind of died to the side.
Yeah, web serials.
So I will restart those and then let you know.
You could do a whole panel on how to complete a web serial. That is impressive.
That would need me to actually complete a web serial first.
It helps. It does
Yes,
help.
semantics.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, plenty of time to find some guests for that kind of thing.
That's true.
Or
And
just
we've got
research.
next year for CONduit,
Yep.
there's a channel in the Writers CONduit Discord for future panels. So
Yep.
if there's something you think you'd want to do, definitely go for that channel and pop it in.
All right.
Yeah, I think that channel is open to all of the attendees too. So if there's something You know, Coffee, you said if there's something you want to do, if there's something you want to see,
Well,
throw
yeah.
it in there too.
Could
You
be
know,
C as well. It doesn't have to be D.
although word of warning, if you suggest it, in 2 months somebody's going to come looking for you and see if you want to head it.
Yeah.
But if it's a good enough idea, you can say no, and someone else will pick it up. So.
All right.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. As far as what I'm working on, I think actually tomorrow, or wait, when's the convention over?
Tomorrow was the last day of the convention.
Right. It's like what hour? Because I mean, my streams are usually like 3 p.m. but
9 p.m. UTC, I believe, is
I
the
believe that's the
closing.
closing ceremony.
Yeah.
9 p.m. UTC, 4 p.m. Okay, yeah, I can stream right after that, so it's not really involved with it specifically. But I want to do some script work on Mix It Up Bot for the Game of Tomes. So I think I could stream it tomorrow because, you know, the thing about streaming, whatever you're working on, is you got people watching you. You might just get it done. I mean, it's okay to ramble half the time. I'm not really saying that's bad content, but keeps you honest, I suppose.
I think it also helps people see that their process is kind of similar or very different.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I had a stream where I just cleaned my room. I mean, it's all good.
Well, to be fair, I do writing sprints on my stream, 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. And I will take my 10 off minutes and just clean up my desk area and like clean up my room.
Not a bad idea.
I like watching how people process their own writing, whatever they're going to create. I like watching, I don't know, that kind of out loud processing.
Yeah. Which is actually, sorry, go ahead.
It's amazing to see how many different processes different people have.
Exactly.
And you can pick up so much from watching other people's process and maybe incorporating it into your own process.
Yeah.
Or by going, no, that doesn't work for me, I should stick to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Writing sprints don't work for me.
And that's fine. You know that, though. You've tried it and you've tested it and you realize it doesn't work, and that's great because that's progress.
But other people...
They give me massive anxiety.
Other people can't do what I do of sit down for 8-10 hours solid and not stop writing and then go, oh crap, I probably should have had something to eat today.
See, that's my process too. I do that.
I just need to do that more often.
Yes.
Maybe not too often though, because as I say, I do have a habit of forgetting to eat when I do that.
Not 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about challenges, though, like the World Anvil Summer Prompt Challenge with 31 prompts and 31 days. Yeah, 30 days, 30 prompts.
Yeah.
You can see how people tackle the prompts. Some people go for pictures first. Some people go for like quotes first. And the different types of articles you can find on World Anvil are amazing. The system is CSS, DinosaurBob?
Well, CSS is the web page.
Yeah, but people
Coding
make
language.
such pretty articles with CSS.
Yes, cascading style sheets is for customizing the look of a web page.
Yeah, World Anvil has about a half a dozen or more themes, and you can just go with those themes. Or if you're, depending on what level of subscription you've got, you get more and more access to to be able to actually customize to do CSS customization and put your own unique look and feel on things. And yeah, it's amazing. Just the variety, how 20 people answer the same question.
Yeah.
It is always, and reading other people's work is always inspiring. It it makes you think about things differently sometimes, and that in the long run can only help your own writing.
Yeah. I get lucky because the writers' games got me to understand how I need to plot something first. And it got me to do quick plotting.
Yes.
It's like 72 hours to get the prompt, plot, write, edit, submit. That has helped me in a lot of different ways. Although I do look at the CSS, and like the information is amazing what people come up with in World Anvil. And then I look at the CSS and I'm like, my articles will never look as beautiful as that. I just have not put the time in.
But they don't need to. I mean,
You're right.
when it comes down to it, the content is important.
Yeah.
And it's ultimately the first. I mean, even the people who, even for some of the other challenges during the year, where you want to spend a little time making it look pretty. The bottom line is, it doesn't matter how pretty it is, if you didn't put a lot of time and effort into the words, you're not going anywhere.
And that's a good point. Yeah. I should remember that and take that a little bit more to heart.
Did we have any more questions in the chat?
Yeah.
Writer Lee says, I would ask questions, but anything I ask, I will know the answer to.
That's okay. Hey, I made you a moderator. That's exactly your job.
Yeah. Just because you know the answer doesn't mean it's not a good question, because others listening might not know the answer.
Yeah.
There's a question.
exactly.
What are the writers' games? Yeah.
Ooh.
What kind of games are the writer? I mean, what's the game? Yeah.
So it's kind of like an Olympic style thing. I think that was our original in like 2014 was the Olympics. So it's different events, and we don't know which event is going to go live until it goes live. So it's different kind of challenges, and I don't want to give anything away, but I will talk about something that we took away a while ago. Literary bingo was a challenge that we used to run.
Oh, we took it away.
Yeah, we had to take it away. It was a whole big thing. So you get a bingo card, and you have to do 5 things on the bingo card in a row or in a column or in a diagonal. And so you just write a story about whatever it is that we're asking. And it's all free.
Yeah.
The games are free. So that really helps a lot of people in other countries around the world.
All right. Okay, how would one go about finding communities? Found TWN by accident, messaging me privately on Twitch. Yeah, when we launched TWN, we messaged a whole bunch of people privately, and I guess that was a bit of a risk on our part, because generally that's frowned upon.
Just a little bit.
But it worked very well.
I guess the short answer is, if you're here, you've just found 4 or 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take notes.
I mean, you do something like this. You go to a convention or you go to an event, and you see what communities there are and who shows up. And you keep an ear out and see other places you could go.
Ask the question on the one community that you found so far. Ask the question. Well, are there any other communities like this? Where else are other people members? The odds are somebody is going to be somewhere else, and then you start playing 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon from there, and you'll find everybody. So.
Yeah, word of mouth is like the most effective tool for writers.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely word of mouth. And that helps, I think, a little bit with the earlier question of how do you know if the community is a good fit for you? If you're friends with the person that's telling you about this brand new community they found, you probably have a better chance of it being a good community for you. Like, I think Mez found me and was talking to me about the Twitch Writers Network. I'm trying to remember how I met you.
I don't recall. I think I might have stumbled into your stream late one night at 4 a.m. my time or something, and I know I was doing a lot of that last August.
Yeah.
I think coffee just kind of pops up in random places, and then everybody just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I know
I know
Coffee and
that
I
I-
ran across each other sometimes.
I always like seeing in other Twitch streams, like, oh hey, Mez, you're here. Oh, Itashi, you're here too.
That's
Yeah.
kind of how I met Itanshi in the first place.
Yeah.
Roaming about from Twitch stream to Twitch stream,
Fire
trying to see
can't
what's on
confirm.
there, and every chat I went into, oh look, there's Itanshi.
Yeah, I roam around the writing tag.
Yep.
Still finding new people. Which is pretty, actually, this weekend it wasn't just the us doing this event. There's some new people streaming.
Nice.
Usually it pops up during like nano events, but this weekend, I don't know, it just worked out. They got a bunch of new names.
I think there does tend to be 1 or 2 new streamers per day, but we can't always be there to catch them and drag them into our communities.
Right.
Let them know
Catch them
there's more out
on.
here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got about 4 minutes. Well, I guess I got my answer, I think.
I was gonna say, did anyone have any other ways where people can find you? I put Twitter information in for Itashi, Theresa, RPGDinosaurBob, and myself. I've tried to put the community links in as well for Writers Workout, Twitch Writers Network, World Anvil, Anvilite Streamer Core, and For the Words. But am I missing anything?
Not sure, but we will be top of the hour. We'll be rating another stream associated with the Writers CONduit convention. Otherwise, those links are quite useful. Feel free to make a new folder on your browser bookmark bar and put them all in.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think I've got the right-
Who's up next? Shared? Is that?
We should be rating Shy-Red Fox, Fairy Tales and Folklore and Writing.
Sounds
The
great.
founder of the Anvilite Streamer Core.
Yep.
Oh,
I like Sky. I'm just slurping up every writing Discord I can find.
Oh, yeah.
Sky, are you on Twitter? I would like to quote tweet you on that.
did you get in the TWN yet?
We do have
2 new joiners while we've been live.
awesome. Welcome.
I think it
Birdie
does have a
tubing,
command
okay.
in chat. And I take it you're probably in the Writers CONduit Discord as well, for you to have been in the stream here.
Yeah, this Discord isn't going to go away, so
Yeah.
get into this Discord and ask. This would be a perfect place to ask what other channels, because I think that's only going to grow. I mean, this is going to be a networking hub.
Yeah, definitely.
It sounds like Lady Wrights is making plans already to keep promotions going year round.
Sounds good.
Oh, that's what I forgot. August is 31 days, 31 short stories with the Lady Wrights.
Ah.
That's what I was confusing with the 31 prompts, 31 days.
Right.
Okay, I don't know. Are we ready to start rating? Because I have another panel
Yeah.
in
That
less
we
than a
should-
minute.
Oh, go right ahead.
Oh,
Run.
Go right
Wait,
ahead.
dinosaurs don't run. Lumber away?
Lumber, yes, lumber away, yeah. So I want to give my quick thanks to everybody in the chat for putting up with us for 2 hours.
Yes.
And
Yes, absolutely.
hopefully we're helpful and productive for you.
Yeah.
And I also hope to see you around in one or two of the other panels.
Yes, come
I've got
visit.
one more today and
Yep.
a couple tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got one more panel later.
Okay, so sorry I won't be here for the raid, but like I said, I gotta go because my other panel director is yelling at me.
Run!
Well, have a wonderful convention. I'll see you around.
All right. Take it easy, everybody. Thanks a lot. It was great.
Thank you so much. All right, so we're gonna raid Sherrid Fox. Sounds like a wonderful panel. I'll be in the chat while airing out my room.
And Itanshi and I will be back in about an hour with another panel on Discord for author communities, I think was that panel.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yep, we're gonna get in more detail.
Trying to figure out where mine pops up next. I will be streaming a panel way later on today in about like 5 hours. How not to procrastinate.
All right.
I should probably go visit that one.
Okay.
Shouldn't we all?
Let's do the raid.
Thank you so much, Itachi, for hosting us and for
Yes,
putting up
thank you.
for you putting up with us for 2 hours.
It's been wonderful.
It was lovely to meet all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, great meeting you, Theresa.
Thank you very much for coming, Theresa.
Thank you.
I'm sorry my computer is all messed up.
We still love you.
All right. Let's do the raid.
Let's do the raid.
Yeah.
Remember the raid called Continuing CONduit.
Con in both words, all caps, please.
I should probably.
Continuing CONduit.
Can't
I've been doing half caps and half not. Continuing CONduit.
Like that?
Yeah, just like that, Itanshi.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I keep forgetting the N in your name, and apologies for that. I should know better.
It's fine. Okay, we're all good. Away we go.
Thanks everyone who's turned out to watch us.